The future for the Xbox Series X is very exciting. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. If you're new to this channel, maybe consider subscribing if you like to stay updated on everything in the next generation and you like what you see. I'll be covering all of the news for the next generation, plus getting the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 on day one and doing many videos on that. So let's jump right into it. Now, we've been waiting on gameplay for a next generation game on the Xbox Series X, and we're getting our first look at Dirt 5 in its preview mode right now with the Xbox Series X, and just getting a glimpse of the different modes we're going to get, different display modes within Dirt 5. So the goal going into the next generation is to play games at 4K at 60 FPS, and it looks like that is what these consoles are aiming for the majority of their games. But there are going to be games that come out that are also going to give you the option to play at 120 frames, 120 hertz. And if you have HDMI 2.1 on your TV or monitor, you're going to be able to take advantage of that. And Dirt 5 is one of those games that is giving us that option. Now, from what we're seeing right now with Dirt 5 in its 120 hertz mode, is that it is staying at a locked 120 frames with like the very slightest dip here and there when you're in a big group of cars or things like that. But overall, it's performing very, very well. And this is really exciting for a lot of reasons, because we're going to be getting more options into the next generation on how we want to play our games, what games we want to play using the higher resolutions versus what games we want to play using the higher frame rates. And I think the more options we get with that, the better it is. Now, for me personally, I have a PC with a RTX 2080. And when I'm playing games on my PC, I have two monitors. I have a monitor that is 4K 60 hertz. I also have another monitor that is 1440p 144 hertz. And I would say, in my personal opinion, 9 times out of 10, even if it is a game that doesn't really need those higher frame rates, I am playing games on my 1440p monitor with 144 hertz. And I would much rather play games at higher frame rates than higher resolutions. And this is what has me so excited. The fact that you're going to be able to kind of just like click a button, flip a switch with the Xbox Series X. If you have HDMI 2.1, get that 120 hertz mode, and it really just works out of the box. Even though this is a preview build, it's not even optimized fully yet for the Series X, and it's running this smoothly. It's very, very exciting for the future of the next generation console. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there looking at Dirt 5 and saying, well, this looks kind of like a current generation game. And I mean, in reality, graphically, it isn't the most crazy game. It's not the most eye-popping game. It isn't like when we saw that NBA 2K trailer where these graphics and everything just absolutely blew you away, and you see that graphical jump between the last generation and the next generation. The thing is, with graphics, in my opinion, we are at points of diminishing returns. And I would agree with people who say this, because the fact is that we even saw with the jump from the 360 to the Xbox One and the PS3 to the PS4, there was a graphical jump, but it wasn't as crazy as like the PS2 to the PS3 and the original Xbox to the Xbox 360. Now we're going to see awesome games like NBA 2K just looks absolutely incredible on the next generation. We're going to see this, and we're going to continue to see more of those as we get further on to the generation. But with the launch titles, we're not going to see the full potential of these consoles yet. So graphically, it may not be as impressive as we think, but it still looks great. But I mean, with that being said, Dirt 5, if you don't have the HDMI 2.1, you're going to still have the option to either play it in performance mode or played in image quality mode, which we've kind of seen in this current generation more and more, but we're going to definitely get that all the time now with this next generation. And basically with those, the difference between those two modes is that with the image quality mode, you're going to have better quality shadows, better texture filtering, and you're going to have like things like more people in the crowd when you're driving around, and it's just going to look overall better. And then in the performance mode, it's going to really focus more on the frames, getting that full 60 FPS all the time, even in 4K, but you're going to have lower quality shadows, lower quality texture filtering, and obviously less assets on the screen. So they showed shots of the actual crowds in the game, and there was less people in the crowd in that performance mode. But I mean, either way, it's a win for everyone. The fact that we're going to get 4K 60 FPS, and then if you have HDMI 2.1, you're going to get up to 120 hertz. It's just, I think, is a great thing to be excited about going forward into the next generation. I think that's where we're going to see the biggest jump by far with the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. It's that smooth frame rate that we haven't really experienced yet with all games in the last generation. And here we get a list of games that you're going to be able to experience out of the gate that are optimized for 120 FPS for the Xbox Series X. And man, this is just really exciting. Playing Halo Infinite at 120 FPS is just going to be awesome. It's such a fast-paced shooter, and it's going to be so great to just see how great it looks with those higher frames. And I know that they have delayed it, so you can best believe that they are going to do their best to make sure this game looks and runs great. And then even games like Call of Duty Cold War, Gears 5 in 120 is going to be great. Rainbow Six Siege in 120 is going to give you a big advantage. and Ori and Devil May Cry. Those games are just going to be perfect for 120. So it's really exciting that if you have that HDMI 2.1, you're going to be able to experience these games optimized for 120 FPS. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Are you excited for 120 FPS? Do you think it's going to make a big difference in how games play and how games look? Do you have HDMI 2.1? Is that way in the future for you to get an HDMI 2.1 TV? So it's not a really big deal for you. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. I'll be covering everything next generation and getting the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 on day one and making tons of videos on those. Thank you guys all for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.